like to believe that modern, civilized life is the norm across the globe, but that's far from the truth. Around the world, there are countless nations, tribes, and cultures that hold firmly to their unique traditions and systems, often resisting change to preserve their way of life. And trust me, some of these customs can get pretty unusual. So let's dive in. Here are some cultures with the most fascinating and unusual traditions you'll ever come across. The Torajan people. Death rituals are a significant part of every culture, reflecting our shared understanding of mortality. From solemn burials to elaborate cremations, these practices offer comfort and closure. When a family member passes away, they are not immediately buried. Instead, their bodies are carefully prepared through a process of mummification and then displayed in the family home.
Funerals take place months and sometimes even years after somebody passes away.
This practice allows the family to continue interacting with the deceased, inviting them to meals and treating them as if they were still alive. Months or even years later, a formal funeral is held. After the burial, the deceased may be exhumed periodically to be cleaned and adorned. This unusual custom highlights the Torajan people's deep connection to their ancestors and their belief in the ongoing relationship between the living and the dead. While these practices may seem strange to outsiders, they are deeply meaningful to the Torajan people. They offer a unique perspective on death and the afterlife, demonstrating the diverse ways in which cultures around the world honor their departed loved ones. La Tomatina, Spain's wild food fight. Spain hosts an annual tradition called La Tomatina, which is essentially the world's largest food fight. Participants gleefully hurl tomatoes at each other, transforming the streets into a vibrant tomato-stained canvas.
The battle begins and it's just all-out war. You feel possessed in a way. It really feels like you're in a Mad Max movie or something.
The origins of La Tomatina are somewhat unclear, but legend has it that a spontaneous food fight broke out during a local parade. This playful chaos ignited a tradition that has grown into a beloved national event. Today, thousands of people gather in the town of Buñol to participate in this messy mayhem. The festival typically takes place on the last Wednesday of August. At 11 a.m., the signal is given and the tomato-throwing frenzy begins. The fun lasts for about an hour, followed by street parties, music, and dancing. The town meticulously plans for this event, ensuring an ample supply of ripe tomatoes for everyone to enjoy. While it may seem unusual to have a town-wide food fight, it's a unique and exhilarating experience. It's a chance to let loose, have fun, and embrace a bit of playful chaos. Just be sure to avoid this event if you're allergic to tomatoes. The Festival of Scrambled Eggs. Let's move from the tomato-filled chaos of La Tomatina to a more serene celebration. In Bosnia, there's a unique festival dedicated to scrambled eggs. But this isn't just any ordinary egg dish, it's a centuries-old recipe that heralds the arrival of spring. On the first day of spring, thousands of Bosnians gather by the River Bosna to participate in this culinary tradition. They work together to crack and scramble over 1,500 eggs, creating a massive batch of this springtime delicacy. The festival's host even rises early to lend a hand in the preparation. Beyond the delicious food, this event symbolizes the renewal of life. The egg, as a symbol of birth and rebirth, perfectly encapsulates the spirit of spring. By sharing this meal with family and friends, Bosnians celebrate the new beginnings that the season brings. The festivities extend beyond the meal, with live music, barbecues, and traditional bathing in the river. It's a full day of fun and community, marking the beginning of a new year and a new chapter. Chinese foot binding. Chinese foot binding is one of the most controversial and painful cultural practices in history, once symbolizing beauty and status for women in ancient China. The tradition began during the Song dynasty, allegedly inspired by an empress who wore small crescent-shaped shoes to mimic the elegance of a moon. Over time, foot binding became a widespread custom, particularly among women of higher social classes. The process involved tightly binding a young girl's feet to stunt their growth, forcing the bones to break and the feet to reshape into the desired lotus form. These tiny deformed feet were considered a mark of beauty, femininity, and wealth, as women with bound feet were often seen as more desirable for marriage. However, this came at a severe cost. Women endured excruciating pain, faced lifelong disability, and struggled with basic mobility. Despite the suffering, the practice persisted for centuries due to societal pressure and the cultural value placed on it. Thankfully, foot binding was officially banned in the early 20th century, though its legacy remains a reminder of the extremes some societies have gone to in the name of beauty and tradition. The Monkey Buffet Festival. Welcome to Thailand's Monkey Buffet Festival, an event that is as quirky as it sounds and surprisingly hasn't caused chaos yet. This festival takes place in central Thailand, in a city that shares a fascinating relationship with its resident monkey population, which numbers in the thousands. Yes, thousands of the monkeys freely roam the city, and rather than treating them as a nuisance, the locals embrace them. In fact, since 1989, they've gone so far as to host a grand feast for their simian neighbors. During the 2022 festival, the scale of the celebration was massive. 100 tables were piled high with a staggering 2,000 kilos of food specially prepared for the monkeys. Once the banquet is laid out, the monkeys descend in droves, creating a scene of pure chaos as they devour the feast. It's a fascinating and slightly bizarre spectacle for the humans who watch from the sidelines. What's even stranger is how the monkeys appear to understand the event. Over the years, attendance by these clever creatures has grown from around 300 to over 4,000. While the festival is a symbol of harmony between humans and monkeys, it's also a reminder of how unpredictable wildlife can be. Despite the risks of hosting thousands of wild monkeys, the event continues to be an annual tradition. So, if you're ever in Thailand and want to experience a festival that's truly bananas, the Monkey Buffet Festival is one you won't forget. A unique German wedding tradition. Leaving behind monkeys and food, we now head to Germany for a fascinating and noisy pre-wedding ritual known as Polterabend. This tradition adds a smashing twist, quite literally, to the couple's last night before marriage. So, what happens during Polterabend? Friends, family, neighbors, and sometimes even the entire village gather in front of the bride's home. They bring along items that are meant to be shattered: porcelain plates, flower pots, tiles, and sometimes even toilets. The goal? To smash these items into shards, creating a pile of broken pieces. The tradition stems from an old German saying, "Scherben bringen Glück," or "shards bring luck." By breaking these objects, participants believe they're bestowing good fortune upon the soon-to-be married couple. But don't worry, this isn't as chaotic as it sounds. After the smashing fun, everyone pitches in to clean up the mess. In some cases, the city even provides a dumpster to help with the cleanup. The act of tidying up symbolizes the couple's teamwork and problem-solving skills as they step into their married life. Polterabend is more than just a quirky tradition. It's a heartfelt way for loved ones to wish the couple happiness, prosperity, and resilience as they begin their journey together. It's messy, loud, and full of good cheer, a true celebration of love, German style, the tradition of neck rings. If you've ever encountered images of people with elongated necks, adorned with numerous rings, you've likely witnessed a cultural practice unique to certain Asian and African cultures. This tradition, while striking to outsiders, holds significant cultural and aesthetic value for those who participate in it. The purpose of these neck rings is to elongate the neck, a feature considered a symbol of beauty in these cultures. Over time, more and more rings are added, creating the illusion of an extremely elongated neck. However, the reality is more complex. The weight of the rings gradually deforms the collarbone and ribcage, causing them to slope downward and create the appearance of a longer neck. While this practice may seem unusual to many, it's important to respect the cultural significance it holds for these communities. It's a part of their identity and a way to express beauty and individuality. England's cheese rolling event. Now, let's roll into a food tradition that's thrilling, fun, and borderline dangerous: the famous cheese rolling event in England. Held annually on Cooper's Hill in Gloucestershire, this bizarre competition has been around for about 600 years and continues to attract brave and sometimes reckless participants from around the world. Here's how it works. A large wheel of cheese is released at the top of a steep hill and contestants chase after it, hurtling downhill in pursuit. The cheese, aided by gravity, can reach speeds of up to 70 miles per hour, making it nearly impossible to catch. The first person to cross the finish line, cheese or no cheese, wins. But why is it dangerous? Running downhill at full speed is already risky, but add a steep incline, uneven terrain, and a crowd of competitors, and you've got a recipe for chaos. Injuries ranging from sprains to broken bones are common, yet participants flock to the event each year, eager to test their mettle. Despite warnings from authorities, including the police, about the event's hazards, cheese rolling remains wildly popular. In fact, its daring nature has become part of its charm, earning it a reputation as one of the quirkiest and most exhilarating traditions in the world. So, while it might sound like a cheesy way to spend a day, this historic event continues to roll on, proving that some traditions are simply too much fun to give up, even if they come with a tumble or two. Mexican birthday traditions. Birthdays are universally a time for joy, laughter, and celebration, and Mexico has some truly unique and lively traditions to mark these special occasions. From playful antics to sweet rewards, these customs make Mexican birthdays a memorable experience. One of the most entertaining traditions is La Mordida, where the birthday person's hands are tied behind their back and their face is pushed into their cake to take the first bite, while everyone cheerfully shouts, "Mordida! Mordida!" It's all in good fun, though one should be careful not to send mixed messages, as the word mordida can also mean bribe in certain contexts. Then there's the beloved piñata, which takes the party up a notch. A colourful papier-mâché figure, often shaped like animals or popular characters, is filled with candies and goodies. Blindfolded participants take turns swinging a stick to break it open, unleashing the treats inside. While it may seem a bit violent to whack an innocent papier-mâché creation, it's all part of the festive fun and excitement. These traditions highlight Mexico's vibrant and playful approach to celebrations, combining laughter, community, and a touch of humor to make birthdays unforgettable. Whether you're smashing a piñata or diving face first into a cake, a Mexican birthday is anything but ordinary. Battle of the Oranges. In the town of Ivrea, Italy, the Battle of the Oranges is a unique and vibrant tradition that takes place during a massive festival. This event is said to symbolize a historical rebellion that occurred centuries ago, where the townspeople fought against tyranny. But instead of using swords or weapons, the people of Ivrea engage in a full-scale battle with, you guessed it, oranges. The battle involves 9 teams, some on foot and others riding in carts, who pelt each other with oranges in a fast-paced competitive frenzy. While there are rules that govern the battle to ensure some level of order, unlike the chaotic tomato-throwing tradition in Spain, the goal remains the same: to hit as many members of the opposing team with oranges as possible. Though it might seem like a strange and unconventional way to celebrate a rebellion, the Battle of the Oranges has grown into a beloved and energetic festival that draws large crowds each year. It's a great way to get people involved and united in a celebration of history, tradition, and, of course, citrus fruit. Gerawol Festival. The Gerawol Festival in Chad is one of the most fascinating and unique cultural traditions, and it stands out because it flips the script on typical beauty standards. While many cultures have male strength competitions to impress women, the Gerawol Festival is all about male beauty. At this festival, men adorn themselves with vibrant clothing, intricate beadwork, and striking face paint to compete in a beauty contest aimed at wooing potential partners. The emphasis is on charm, elegance, and attractiveness, with men performing dances and showcasing their features to impress the women. This is not just for fun, it's often a serious opportunity to find a partner or even a wife, making it a pivotal event in their lives. Unlike many other cultures where masculine qualities like physical strength dominate courtship traditions, the Gerawol Festival celebrates aesthetic appeal and charisma. It's a vibrant and colourful tradition that highlights a unique approach to love, relationships, and cultural beauty. The Oaxaca Radish Festival. The Oaxaca Radish Festival in Mexico is a colourful and creative tradition that has been celebrated for over 125 years. Thankfully, this event doesn't involve hurling radishes at people. It's all about transforming these root vegetables into intricate works of art. The festival, which takes place during the Christmas season, began with street vendors carving radishes to attract customers to their stands. Over time, this simple practice evolved into a large-scale event showcasing extraordinary artistry. Participants carve radishes into elaborate scenes, ranging from religious motifs to depictions of everyday life, folklore, and even fantastical designs. The carved radishes are displayed in vibrant, detailed exhibits that draw crowds from far and wide. Despite their temporary nature, the radishes can wilt quickly. The artistry and creativity on display are unforgettable. The Oaxaca Radish Festival is a perfect blend of tradition, community spirit, and artistic expression, proving that even humble vegetables can be a source of beauty and celebration. Himba women and their unique hair traditions. In the Himba culture of Namibia, hair is more than just a style. It's a form of expression and identity deeply tied to tradition. Himba women create a distinctive look by applying a special paste to their hair every day, made from a mixture of butterfat and red ochre. This paste, called otjize, gives their hair its signature reddish hue and textured appearance. The reasons behind this practice are both practical and aesthetic. For the Himba, who live in an arid, sun-drenched environment, the otjize paste helps protect their hair and skin from the harsh sun and insect bites. Beyond its functional benefits, the reddish color is considered beautiful and symbolizes life and fertility. Hair plays an important cultural role in Himba society, signifying milestones such as puberty, marriage, and motherhood. The intricate hairstyles and designs often indicate a person's age, social status, and even whether they are single or married. For the Himba women, this tradition is not only a way to protect and style their hair, but also a source of pride, reflecting their cultural heritage and identity. Toe rings. Toe rings are a fascinating and symbolic tradition, particularly prominent in Indian culture, where they hold deep significance in marriage and identity. Unlike what some might imagine, toe rings do not involve piercing but are instead worn as bands, often made of silver. In traditional Indian wedding ceremonies, the groom places a toe ring called a bichiyai on the second toe of each foot of the bride. This act signifies her marital status, akin to a wedding ring in Western cultures. The custom is steeped in meaning, representing love, commitment, and the new life the couple is embarking on together. Toe rings are not just a symbol of marriage, they're also believed to have health benefits. According to Ayurvedic practices, wearing toe rings can help regulate a woman's menstrual cycle by applying gentle pressure to specific nerve points. Men also participate in this tradition in certain Tamil communities, wearing simpler and more comfortable toe rings as a mark of cultural identity. Since many people in these regions wear sandals or go barefoot, toe rings are a visible and celebrated part of daily life. While it may seem unusual to outsiders, in these cultures, toe rings are a meaningful and cherished tradition that blends love, spirituality, and wellness. Cinnamon hurling. In Denmark, if you reach the age of 25 and are still single, prepare for an unusual and spicy celebration. Your friends and family might cover you in cinnamon powder, a playful tradition to mark your unmarried status. But if you reach 30 and are still single, the ante is upped. You'll get doused in pepper instead. This tradition stems from the term pepperman, or peppermaid, used historically for traveling salespeople who remained unmarried because of their constant mobility. Over time, this transformed into a light-hearted custom rather than a social critique. While it might sound like a roast, literally, this tradition is generally carried out in good humor. After all, finding true love takes time, and there's nothing wrong with waiting for the right person. The Wife Carrying Championship. The Wife Carrying Championship, held annually in Finland, is a quirky and unique competition with roots in an unusual and somewhat controversial history. Allegedly, the event's origins trace back to a 19th century gang leader, Herkko Rosvo Ronkainen, whose men were said to steal women from neighboring villages. While the historic context might be grim, the modern event is a light-hearted and humorous race. Participants compete by carrying their partner or a willing volunteer through an obstacle course that spans 253.5 meters on a sand track. The course features challenges such as hurdles, water traps, and rough terrain, making it a true test of strength, endurance, and teamwork. To level the playing field, there are rules about the partner's minimum weight, 49 kg, and age, 17 or older. If the partner weighs less, additional weight is added to meet the requirement. Teams take the event seriously, with many couples practicing extensively to master their technique, whether it's the Estonian carry, where the partner hangs upside down on the carrier's back, or other creative methods. The event has grown beyond Finland and is now celebrated internationally, with participants enjoying the camaraderie, laughter, and a prize that includes the partner's weight in beer. It's a race that combines physical challenge with sheer fun, and one that continues to delight spectators and participants alike. The frog dance. In Sweden, the frog dance, or små grodorna, the little frogs, is a whimsical and joyous tradition celebrated during midsummer festivals. This event, deeply rooted in Swedish culture, marks the arrival of summer and the changing of seasons. Participants gather around a maypole, decorated with greenery and flowers, which symbolizes growth and fertility. As they hold hands and dance in a circle, they sing a playful song about frogs, små grodorna, humorously highlighting the absence of ears and tails on frogs. The dance is light-hearted and involves hopping around in mimicry of frogs, adding a sense of childlike joy and humor to the celebration. While the origins of this peculiar yet endearing custom are unclear, it has become an integral part of Swedish midsummer festivities and a source of amusement for locals and visitors alike. It's a tradition that showcases Sweden's love for nature, music, and community, proving that even something as simple as dancing like a frog can bring people together in celebration. The ritual use of reindeer urine. The Sami people of Northern Europe, indigenous to regions like Norway, Sweden, and Finland, have a tradition tied to their shamanic practices involving reindeer urine. Reindeer consume the Amanita muscaria mushroom, known for its psychoactive properties, which are too toxic for humans to ingest directly. However, the reindeer's digestion filters out harmful compounds while leaving the psychoactive elements intact in their urine. In Sami culture, shamans would drink the urine to experience hallucinogenic effects safely, often as part of rituals to enter altered states of consciousness and connect with the spirit world. This practice not only highlights their deep understanding of their environment, but also their unique bond with the reindeer, a central part of their nomadic lifestyle. While the tradition is rarely practiced today, it reflects the Samis' resourcefulness and spiritual connection to nature. Similarly, in India, cow urine, gomutra, is revered in Hindu culture for spiritual and medicinal uses. It is a key ingredient in Panchagavya, used for purification in rituals, and is valued in Ayurveda for its healing properties. Across other cultures, urine has been used for spiritual protection, psychoactive benefits, and traditional medicine, showcasing humanity's resourceful relationship with nature. The living chess game of Italy. In the Italian town of Marostica, Partita a Scacchi brings a legendary tale to life through a spectacular living chess game. This tradition originates from a 15th century legend where a ruler decided to settle the matter of his daughter's marriage through a game of chess between two suitors. The winner would marry the elder daughter, while the loser would wed the younger one. To honor this tale, Marostica reenacts the event every 2 years, transforming the main square into a massive chessboard. Over 700 participants, including actors, musicians, and even live horses, take part in this theatrical spectacle, playing the roles of chess pieces and reenacting the historical game. The festival is a grand display of costumes, pageantry, and local pride. For spectators, it's an unforgettable experience, an intersection of history, storytelling, and strategy brought to life. Beyond its cultural significance, Partita a Scacchi stands as a testament to the timeless appeal of chess and the lengths people will go to preserve the legends of their past. So, after exploring all these fascinating traditions, which one struck you as the most bizarre or intriguing? Let me know your thoughts.